All right, we're going to do a practice for Mercury in retrograde, so a nice grounding, centering practice. If you're not familiar with what happens when Mercury goes retrograde, it's an astrology event, and I'll post something so you can learn a little bit more about it. A lot of people are afraid of what happens, but if you work with the energy of Mercury retrograde, it can be a really beautiful time. Happens 3 times a year roughly, for about 3 weeks each time. So we're going to start laying down. Feet out nice and long. You can lower yourself down to the mat and put your arms at 90-degree angles in cactus pose. If this feels like enough of a stretch through your chest, go ahead and stay here. If you have blocks and you'd like to go a little bit further for more of a heart opening stretch, you can place one block between your shoulder blades, so either on the lowest setting, the second setting, or the third setting, and then another one to support your head in whatever variation feels the best for you. I'm going to do the second setting between my shoulder blades and then a little higher for my head. And you want that to land right between your shoulder blades, and then whichever setting for the back of the crown of your head. And then you can choose to put your arms in whatever way feels good. And however you're laying, start to use your breath, just tracking it with your mind, your inhale and your exhale, to come into the present moment. Just observing your breath, however it is, warm or cool, deep or shallow. Maybe you can feel it moving all the way in your belly or in your chest or in a certain part of your mouth or throat or nose. And just take a moment to rest where you are. We'll take a few rounds of breath. This time lengthening the inhale deep into your belly, through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, completely emptying your lungs, pressing it out, making room for another big, deep, long inhale. Through the nose and out the mouth. Last time, big, deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. However you have yourself configured here, reach your arms up nice and long overhead, stretch out, look through your toes and do a big full body yawn, just like you're stretching first thing in the morning. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then slowly start to come out of however you have yourself configured, so you can remove blocks. Roll yourself over, coming into all fours, so hands We're actually going to bring out in front of us just a little bit, hips over knees, and then bow forward to whatever amount feels good for you. You can prop your head up on a block or allow yourself to fold in, resting either your forehead or your chin all the way on the mat. So we're in a puppy pose. Nice stretch through the front side of the arms, through the belly. You may feel it through the back, through your neck. And take some deep breaths here as we surrender into this pose. Slowly walk your hands back underneath you. And as you inhale, lower your navel, lift through your heart, broaden through your shoulder blades. Allow your tailbone to reach up. And as you exhale, reverse your spine arch, lifting your navel up and inward, allowing your tailbone and your gaze to reach up and in towards your navel. Reverse, crown of the head, heart and tailbone rising up towards the sky, navel dropping, and reverse through the length of your breath, exhaling into cat pose. Last time, inhaling through cow, and exhaling through cat, really warming up our spine. Come through neutral. Again, allow your hands to come out a little ways in front of you. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips. Press your hands into the ground to send your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet, stretching through the back sides of the legs. Take a nice deep slow breath. You can wag your tail from left to right, stretching through the side body. And start to find stillness in your downward dog. So really pressing the floor away from you with your arms. Tailbone is reaching up and back towards the corner of the ceiling behind your bum. Knees can be bent or straight, and heels are reaching down towards the ground. Take a big inhale through your nose. Big exhale through the mouth. One more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Now, as you inhale through the nose, rise up to the balls of your feet. Look forward towards your hands. And lifting your knees into your chest, take some mini steps up to the front of your mat until your feet are about hips width apart. You can measure by putting 2 fists between your feet. And with your knees bent, tailbone reaching upward towards the sky, allow yourself to fold forward. You can nod your head yes, shake your head no, make sure your neck is nice and loose. Clasp opposite elbows and sway from side to side. Again, nice stretch through the backs of the legs, and allowing gravity to pull the weight of our head, our neck, our torso towards the ground, really creating space through the spinal column. And start to find stillness here. Big inhale through the nose. Big open mouth. Exhale. Bend your knees, ground down through your heels, and slowly roll up, really slowly, one vertebrae at a time, getting to know each part of your spine, ending very last with your head. Put my hair up here. And now that we're at the front of the mat, we'll come into Tadasana, or mountain pose. It's a nice, really grounding pose you can use anytime, anywhere. Feet again are hips width apart, so about 2/5 you can put between your big toes. Feet are parallel with the long sides of your mat. Lift up your toes off the ground so you can feel your arches lift. That engages the arch of your foot. The ball and the heel of your foot are pressed nice and firmly into the ground. And then fan your toes all the way back down so you can really feel as many parts of your feet rooting down into the ground as your arches lift up. As you ground through your heels, you'll also send your tailbone down and your reach with your fingertips down. As you rise up through your chest and through the crown of your head, shoulder blades will slide together and down your back, and your ribs, if they like to poke out, just integrate them back into your body. There's actually a lot of action happening in mountain pose. A lot of dynamic energy, rooting down, rising up. Your arches are floating upward. Your crown is floating upward. Fingertips are reaching down. Tailbone reaching down. Heels grounding down. Take a big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up, and as you exhale, cactus arms. So arms are 90 degrees bent, and lift the heart and the gaze so you're in a small back bend. Exhale, reach up. Inhale, slight back bend. Exhale, reach up. Inhale, slight back bend. Exhale, reach up. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fan the arms to the floor as you come into another forward fold, so back into our hips elevated, upper body nice and loose. Inhale, place your hands on your shins as you reach your crown forward, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step all the way back into a plank pose. We're going to take a couple rounds of breath here, really reaching through the heels and through the crown, so one long line through the body. Take a couple big rounds. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. On your next inhale, press the toes forward, and as you exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. Untucking your toes, inhale, lift with the upper body only, so you're pressing your pubic bone and the tops of your legs down into the ground. You're using the strength of your back, so you can lift your hands off of the floor to low cobra. Inhale up a little higher, and exhale, lower all the way down, allowing your body a quick full rest. Bring the hands back to either side of your chest. Press yourself up through full plank or through half plank, and then back into downward facing dog. Take a couple rounds of deep breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Navel is lifted, heels are reaching down to the earth. Inhale, come up to the balls of your feet. This time look forward. You can take mini steps up to the front of your mat, or you can take a couple big steps to bring in your knee to your chest. Arriving in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift again, bringing your hands to your shins, crown and your heart reach forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, reach up, look up. Hands to heart center. Mountain pose. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale. Cactus arms, heart lifts. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Back bend. Inhale, reach up. Last time, exhale, back bend. Inhale, reach up. Look up. Exhale, forward fold with a flat back. Inhale, halfway lift. Reach the crown and the heart forward, broaden through the shoulder blades. Exhale, plant your hands. Again, step all the way back to a plank. Hold it there. Couple rounds of breath, so one long line through from the crown all the way through the heels. On your next inhalation, pitch the toes forward, slowly lower down all the way to the floor, untucking the toes. This time we'll set up for Sphinx pose, so putting our elbows directly under our shoulders. Similar to low cobra, we'll press the pubic bone and the tops of the legs down into the floor. Hands are out right in front of us, and grip the floor or the mat with your fingertips and pull your heart forward. So you're lifting, broadening through the shoulder blades, lifting the heart forward and up. Gaze is straight forward. Take a few rounds of breath here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And when you're ready, you can release that, allowing your head to drop to the opposite side and allowing your body a full rest for a second. And we'll bring the hands back to either side of our chest, press up through half or full plank, and then back into downward facing dog. Take a couple rounds of breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, pressing the floor away. Hips are lifted up and back, heels reaching down towards the earth. On your next inhale, lift up to the balls of your feet. And again, you can take many steps, 2 steps, or bend your knees, look where you want to land, and jump forward to the front of your mat. Arriving either way on a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Broad through the shoulder blades, heart and head forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Reach up, look up. Exhale, hands at heart center. Again, we'll inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, elbows come apart, heart and head and gaze, look up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Open the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Last time, open the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Broaden through the collarbone. Exhale, forward fold. Place the hands, step back into plank. And this time you can lower into the back bend of your choice. So you have low cobra, sphinx, or you can lower halfway, pull the heart forward, keep the legs lifted off the ground into upward facing dog. And then afterwards, everybody meeting in downward dog no matter where you are. Take a couple rounds of breath here, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Shoulders spiraling under. On your next inhale, come up to the balls of your feet, looking toward the front of your mat. Step, walk, or jump to where you want to go. Inhale, halfway lift, broadening across collarbone. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Reach up, look up. Exhale, hand comes to heart center. Pause here. Again, grounding through the heels, lifting through the arches, shoulders relaxing back, crown floating up. Ready, you can move that. Come to one side of our mat, and we'll start with, again, our feet in hips width apart, this time parallel to the short edges of our mat. Head will root down, just like we're about to do Tadasana. And slowly shift our weight into our left foot. We're going to do a balancing pose, so it helps to find a drishti, which is a spot you can focus on, maybe on a non-moving object, or a spot on the wall or something like that. So you can just softly gaze at it. And as I shift our weight into the left foot, our right foot should just come right off the ground. And I would start with your right foot low on your leg. Make sure you have your drishti. Your right leg is turned out. Your left leg is rooting down into the ground, nice and strong. And then you can reach down and grab the right foot if you want to go further, bringing it above the knee, so not on your knee, but above. And press your right foot into your left inner thigh as you press your left inner thigh back into your right foot. Hands can stay low. They can come to heart center. You can do some kind of above the head prayer, or open it up and lift your gaze. It's really up to you to decide where you want your tree to be today. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Rooting down through your left heel as you float up through the crown. Pressing the right foot in towards the left inner thigh as the left inner thigh presses back into the right foot. And you can come in and out of this pose as much as you need. The beautiful thing about doing balancing poses while Mercury is retrograde is that it calms a busy mind. One of the many benefits. Slowly coming out of the tree pose, we'll bring our hands to heart center. Bring our right foot out and take a huge step. So your feet are first going to be, you can shimmy them so that they're turned out. And we'll lower down into our goddess pose. So really squatting nice and deep, heels rooting down into the ground, tailbone rooting down, arms lifted, heart and gaze up. Big inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, squat just a little deeper. Bring your hands slowly to heart center. Turn the left foot in and the right foot out. You may want to bring a block with you. It's an option. Otherwise, we'll bend the right knee, lifting the left knee. Right hand comes down to the ground, left arm up into Ardha Chandrasana. So this is half moon pose. The left leg, the foot is parallel to the ground, so it's not turned out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Slowly bring the left arm and left foot down to the ground. Come into your forward fold, halfway lift. Forward fold. Reverse swan dive all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands come to heart center. And we'll turn back towards the side of the mat. So feet are hips width apart. Heels are rooting down into the earth. Find your focal point again, whatever your spot is. Slowly start shifting your weight into your right foot so that your left foot just becomes light. And then start balancing on your right foot, heel, checking in that your heel is rooting down towards the earth. Your left leg is lifted and your left hip is open. If that feels good, you feel pretty stable, you can grab your left ankle and bring your left, make sure your left toes are completely above your right knee. Now that we're here, we check in with our dynamic tensions again. So heel rooting down to rise up through the crown. Left foot is pushing into the right inner thigh, and the right inner thigh is pushing back into my left foot. Take a big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Decide where you'd like your tree arms to be today. So you have hands at heart center, prayer hands above you. You can open your arms, lift your gaze, keep them down here, whatever feels good to you. And again, you can come in and out of this pose as many times as you need to. No harm in that. Inhaling deeply through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, shoulders relaxed and back. Bring the hands slowly to heart center. With your left foot, take a giant step to the middle of your mat. Turn your feet out and come into goddess pose. So bending through the knees are directly over your toes. If they're not, then maybe try turning your feet into an angle where they can go directly over your toes so they're not turned in or out. Squat nice and deep. Tuck the tailbone under. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. A couple more like that. Squat a little deeper if you can. Bring your hands to your heart. Turn your left foot straight and your right foot inward. Bring your weight over your left foot, and as you straighten it, bring your left arm to the ground. Right arm comes up. Right leg is lifted so it's parallel to the ground. Your gaze can be down towards your left hand or up towards your right hand. Another balancing pose that's really good for calming a busy mind. And similar to what I'm experiencing right now, you may find that these poses feel very different from one side to the next. And that's okay. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, slowly coming down. Right foot coming to the mat, landing in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, broaden through the collarbone. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, all the way up, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Deep inhale and exhale. When you're ready, you can let that go. Come back to the center of our mat. This time, rather than having our feet turned out like we did in goddess pose, let's turn them either parallel with the mat or even slightly pigeon-toed or inverted. And we'll start by bringing the arms out to the side and then swoop. For starters, your right arm is going to come under your left arm and either have your backs of your hands meet, or you can cross over for eagle arms. We'll lift the elbows up, and you can soften your gaze so it's almost like you can see around your hands. Elbows are lifted, and we'll bend with a flat back forward. So again, lifting the elbows up or the point of your fingertips away from your head. Big deep breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Slowly coming back up through center. We'll lift into a little bit of a back bend. Same thing, eagle arms, so elbows are pushing up. And as you exhale, unwinding. Keep our feet where they are. This time we'll bring our arms out and left will circle under right. Elbows lift upwards and you soften your gaze so you can see past your hands. Inhale, lift up through the crown, lift up through the elbows. Exhale, fold forward. Breathing deep between the space between our shoulder blades. Still lifting the elbows away from, or upwards, so fingertips pointing towards the ground. And we'll use our inhale to bring us back up. Exhale to bend backwards. And coming back through center and unwinding. Let's go ahead and circle out the shoulders. And then in the opposite direction, so rolling them forward. Great. Staying in the middle of our mat, we're going to do one last balancing pose. So beginning in Tadasana, feet hips width apart. Grounding down through the heels, rising up through the crown, strong through the legs. Slowly shift our weight into our left foot, bringing our right foot across our left leg. So you may bend our legs. You may be able to cross all the way, so your right foot hooks all the way around, or you may just cross over. That's fine too. With the arms, we'll bring the arms out and twist left under right. Oops, excuse me, right under left. Lifting the elbows, sitting down. See if you can sit down a little bit more in your eagle. Palms pressing towards the center line, legs pressing towards the center line. Tuck your tailbone under so it's reaching down towards the ground. Take a nice deep breath. Unwind the arms, unstep your legs. Maybe shake or rock it out. And we'll come back and reverse sides. So again, starting in our nice grounding Tadasana pose. So reaching down through the heels, rising up through the crown, strong through the legs, reaching with the fingertips. Slowly shifting our weight into the right leg so that our left foot is free to come up, cross over the right knee as we sit down into a squat with the right leg. And you can cross over your left or hook your left foot all the way around. Bring the arms out to the sides, this time left under right. Wrap the arms, lift the elbows so you get a nice stretch through the back body. Big inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. See if you can lower down a little bit deeper. Tailbone reaching down towards the earth, lifting through the navel. Slowly unwind the arms, the legs. Come back to standing and maybe shift or rock yourself out. Good job. Let's come to the floor. So we'll bring our arms out in front of us. Slowly squat down. When you get nice and close or you think you're about to fall, you can grab the floor and gently place yourself down. Move the flesh out from under your sit bones so you can sit up nice and tall. Reach your arms out nice and long in front of you. Slowly lean back until you can lift up onto your sit bones. And your shins are parallel with the floor, or you're straightening your legs out into a V. So we're in Navasana or boat pose. Take a couple rounds of breath here. Big inhale. Exhale. Lifting through the navel and maintaining nice length through the back of the neck. Bring your feet down to the earth. Reach forward. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then keeping your feet on the floor, bring your arms out parallel to the ground and then slowly roll down. One vertebrae at a time, all the way to the floor. Bring your feet out nice and wide so they're on the outside edges of your mat. And just windshield wiper your knees from left to right, loosening up your spine. And bring your knees up so that your legs are parallel to the floor, your shins rather. And then cross them over to the left side. You can bring your arms into cactus arms or keep them straight out in a T and look over your right shoulder. Your right shoulder is reaching down towards the ground if it's lifted. And we're allowing this to be a restorative pose, so letting go of holding specific shapes and allowing the earth to nourish and support us. So breathing nice and deep into your belly. As you relax into this twist. Slowly bring your legs up through center and then across to the opposite side. So across to the right side. And either, again, keep your arms straight out in a T or in cactus. This time looking over your left shoulder and allowing your left shoulder to reach down towards the ground. Breathing into your belly as you relax into the twist. And slowly bring your knees up through center. Grab onto your knees, hug them in tight to your chest, and just rock back and forth, massaging through your low back or your hips. And then grab either the outsides of your legs or the sides of your feet or your big toes. And bring your knees out to either side, close to your armpits. And again, just rock back from left to right, massaging through the hips and the low back. Into happy baby. You can do whatever feels great for you here. I like to do the lion's breath or flutter my lips like a little kid. Good. And when you're ready, you can lower the legs. Bring your arms down to your sides. Get out any last fidget. And relax here for a Shavasana. So we'll be here for a few breaths. You can listen to my words, or you can just turn off this video and relax here for a moment. Some of the things that are really wonderful to do during Mercury retrograde are resting and reflecting. So reflecting meaning it's a bit easier to have a conversation with yourself during these 3 weeks. Might be harder to have conversations with others, but it's easier to access information within yourself. So getting to know yourself, reflecting, especially on what's working, what feels easy during this time, what feels difficult. That can be a real gift. Might be difficult to work with technology, might be difficult to communicate, but it's a gift to be able to see clearly and easily what's working and what's not working. You can make choices in your life accordingly. Renewing old friendships, revisiting decisions you've made, places you've been, reflecting. Those are all good things to do during this time. When you're ready, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, stretch your arms nice, long overhead, stretch the feet, full body yawn. And we'll turn over onto our side and slowly press ourselves back up into a comfortable seated position. Bringing the palms down on your knees or wherever your lap is in your comfortable seat. Just taking a couple breaths here to ask yourself some of the questions maybe you want to reflect on. Whether you answer them now or not is up to you. What feels easy in my life right now? What feels difficult? What do I want more of? What do I want to keep? What do I want less of? And what do I want to let go of? Bring your hands to heart center, and then bring your thumb up to your third eye on your forehead. Bow forward, and we'll close out class with a little bit of gratitude. Thank you.